Did you guys know that I used to make clothes? And there's a good reason that it's used to and not I make clothes. Because after you watch this video, you'll have many good reasons as to why I don't do this activity anymore. So today I decided to do something very special and make a tier list ranking of all the questionable clothing that I designed and made when I was like 11. Here's a little bit of backstory. So I kind of had like this big fashion design phase in middle school, and I would like genuinely believe that the clothes I was making were like wearable and cool. And at one point I literally had like a fashion show with my friends in front of all our parents, and it was really embarrassing, and I don't really like to talk about it, but today I will be talking about it by making this very special tier list. So let's get started, shall we? So the first category is Camp AF, and that just means that it's very cool, it's very camp. I think this has potential to become a runway item. It's very quirky, but not in a way that's super weird. It's basically just camp. The second tier is Donatella Versace, which means it's definitely something. The third tier is There Was an Attempt, which is self-explanatory. Maybe I had like a good idea, but it wasn't great in execution, or maybe the idea was just mid. The next tier is Boring, and that just means exactly what you think it means. It's not very unique. You can probably find like 10 of the same thing if you walk into a local Zara. And the final tier is Fashion Hell, and that's where all this stuff that's absolutely hideous, terrible, disgusting that I wish I had never brought into this world will go. So the first item of clothing we have is this skirt with a penguin on it. So I remember that my inspiration for this is one of those like poodle skirts from like the 60s or something, when people would have these like those like massive skirts with like dogs and stuff, and I was like, yo, wouldn't it be cute if I made it with like a penguin? So I think this is gonna have to go in Camp AF, because I think this is a serve. The lacing detail is a little bit sus, the skirt itself is a little bit sus, but I think the penguin was a really good addition. I was kind of a genius for coming up with that. Okay, next we have this strange shirt and skirt set made out of this strange material that was probably supposed to be a curtain. You know, I think I did like this when I was making it. The thing about all these clothes is that back when I was like designing and making them, I genuinely thought I would become like the next Louis Vuitton, because I was like, oh my god, I'm so talented, I'm so good at making clothes. Because, you know, when you're 11, you don't have any like sense of self-awareness. I like how the collar actually looks like a normal collar, and it's not like super lopsided. I like how there's a seam down the middle, so it does look more like a shirt. I think the sleeves are fine, except this one is obviously longer than this one. And the skirt is also a little bit weird, but I think overall, like, it does look normal. Like, it doesn't look like an abomination, which is the best we're gonna get. It's kind of giving like LA gentrifier core. This is pretty boring. I feel like I've seen something very similar at like Target in like the old ladies section. Next, we have this other set that is also a shirt and skirt set. Now, if you take a close look, I don't even think you have to take a close look, but if you take a look at all, you'll probably notice that these are not made very well. Like, that skirt looks like it would fall apart if you sat down. I also don't know what this rhinestone situation is on the collar. There was no reason for those awkward rhinestones to be sitting right there. It's so lumpy. It's literally like a potato sack. Like, I don't know how to describe any of these clothes except that they're all just like yassified potato sack. This would also go in boring. I just feel like it's not very unique. You can find the literal exact same thing in your closet. Like, everybody has that black skirt, white shirt combo. Next, we have this quite strange design. As you can tell, the fabric was definitely not supposed to be used to make clothing, and it's giving like Disney, but it's giving like bad Disney costume, like the kind of thing that you would buy like kind of like an off-brand Disney princess costume. I also don't know what all these photo shoots are. Like, why am I literally just standing like... I think There Was an Attempt. I like the blue sleeve idea. I think it's kind of camp, but the only reason it's not going in that tier or the Donatella Versace tier is simply because it literally looks like a curtain. Okay, next we have the first item of clothing that looks kind of normal. It's just like this basic white dress with like a little tan belt. And I remember I actually did like this. It is very boring, but but the only reason I'm not gonna put it in the boring tier is because I think this was like the first time when I actually made something that was like wearable and that you might see somebody wearing in real life. So I'm going to put that in Donatella Versace. Like, it's not camp enough to go into camp, but it's it's good enough, you know? Like it's technically good. Like you look at it and you're like, oh, I can imagine someone wearing that, and it's not something that is a rip-off of whatever they made in Littlest Pet Shop. Okay, next we have this monstrosity, which is automatically going in fashion hell because that's the worst skirt I've ever seen. I'm sorry, but the only person who would wear a skirt that looks like that are those like moms who think that essential oils can be a good substitute for a vaccine. Do you know what I mean? And like the little thing at the bottom is just not it. And I remember that the fabric was absolutely terrible. I literally got it from the discount fabric section. I feel like it was supposed to be used to make outdoor furniture, but somehow I decided to make clothing out of it. Not to mention that weird shirt, because I had no idea how to actually make anything, so I would just take clothes that I have and like trace them, but not in a good way, so they would always end up looking like that. Like, what was the reason? Like, what is this random thing? That's not a necklace, guys. So I literally just like glued that random strip of metal onto the shirt. And it's like so wrinkly, the color is uneven, and this does make me shed a tear. If I was in public and I saw someone wearing this, I would automatically get out of there. This looks like a bad Cleopatra Halloween costume. This isn't Cleopatra, this is Cleocatra. So next we have this strange skirt and sash combo, and these items were also from the discount fabric bin. And the reason why this is also going into fashion hell, I mean, I can't decide because I don't know if this is terrible or if it's actually secretly camp and I'm just not looking at it correctly, because like upon first glance it is terrible, but so are like a lot of designer brands, you know? Like sash is such a powerful addition. Like this outfit would not be what it is without that sash. It's giving like prom queen, but like I'm going to have to deduct points for those awful rhinestones on the sash, because that was just not it. That's just not a look. And I'm also gonna have to deduct points because that skirt didn't actually have a waistband. It just had like a random like shoelace like running through it that you would like tie in the side. And it was literally 2 seconds away from falling apart at any given moment. Not that the other ones weren't, but this one especially was more unstable than a YouTuber apology. I'm just gonna put it in there as an attempt. I think that's a good middle ground for this because it's bad, but it's also very unique. So next we have this polka dot dress that I remember I made out of a bed sheet, and I kind of do like this design. I think this is also the first time that I learned how to use make like an actual pattern. Like I traced out a pattern out of like a newspaper and stuff, and yeah, I mean, I think this is definitely an improvement from all my other ones. It's also not that cute. Like, it's kind of ugly, but, you know, it's not like the other ones weren't. So I'm gonna put this in boring. Like, I feel like I put, like, literally negative effort into making the photos look good. Because I literally just put this on the floor and I was like, yep. Quality photography. Next, we have this strange number. The poses will never not be funny to me. This is such like a boxy design, like it literally looks like a potato sack. I feel like the type of person to wear this would either be like a toddler who doesn't know any better, whose parents like make them wear whatever they want them to wear, or one of those like sus ladies who live in the middle of the desert and like, I don't know, do you know what I mean? Like those old ladies who just like yell at people. Like I don't know how to explain it, but it's like kind of giving Karen. There was definitely an attempt with this one. Did it work out? No. Did any of these work out? No! Now this, now this is a dress I remember all too well. Upon first glance, it doesn't look that bad, right? Well, the thing is, if you were to turn that thing around, you would find that the zipper is the squiggliest thing you've ever seen. There are literally more lumps on that zipper than there is in an entire family of camels. That is because I did not use the right fabric for that shirt. I used like regular t-shirt fabric, and as you know, that's like super soft, so it's gonna get wrinkly whenever you add a zipper to it. Like I like how the skirt and like the shirt meet in like a nice clean seam, and the bottom I finally learned how to do like a zigzag stitch, so the bottom is like very nice, but the top is kind of a disaster zone because why is like like the strap and the shirt like don't match up. This one also goes in there was an attempt because there was an attempt to put a zipper in for the first time. Oh boy, I saved the best for last. So this little dress is supposed to be inspired by music, as you can see. The R in red stands for retro because what is this? I think the fact that the music notes are drawn on with the Sharpie automatically makes it lose points. And so does the fact that it's just like it just looks like that. Like it's just not like a legitimate shape of clothing. It's like if you put like a pillowcase on your body and like cut like holes for your arms and head, and that's literally just what it looks like. This one's gonna go in fashion hell. I know that it could be camp, but I just don't think it is, you know? I remember my parents didn't like it. They were like, oh my god, it's so cute and unique and I love the color. But parents are like obligated to say that, you know? They can't just tell their child, oh, that's the ugliest thing I've seen in my entire life. So anyway, those were all the dresses I made when I was a child, and hopefully now you guys understand why I don't do that anymore. Anyway, thank you guys for watching this video. Remember to like and subscribe. You don't have to, but if you don't share this video with 10 friends, then an evil demon will crawl out from under your bed and eat you. Maybe you should like and subscribe. Anyway, that's it for me, guys. Hopefully I'll see you in the next video. Toodles!